India's robotic industry is still young, but it is already facing a problem that has little to do with technology. Indian founders are finding it harder to travel to China. According to a report in the Economic Times, several Indian robotics and hardware startups are facing visa rejections even though China remains a crucial part of their supply chain. And for an industry that depends heavily on Chinese components and manufacturing, that could become a serious problem. So why do these startups need to go to China in the first place? Well, because China is far ahead of India in robotics manufacturing. Components such as motors, sensors, camera, modules, circuit boards, etc. are more mature and often cheaper in China. Now, for Indian startups, visiting China is not just about buying components. Founders travel there to meet suppliers, develop new partnerships, inspect manufacturing facilities, and keep up with the latest technology. But multiple Indian executives have reportedly had their Chinese visa applications rejected in recent months. And the problem is bigger for smaller startups. They don't buy components in huge volumes. So Chinese suppliers have less incentive to provide them with the same level of technical support remotely. That means a simple visa problem can turn into a supply chain problem, an R&D problem, and eventually a business problem. There is another challenge. China is currently one of the world's biggest centers for robotics research and manufacturing. So founders say that traveling there helps them understand what is actually happening on the ground. What components are improving, what new technologies are emerging, and what competitors are building. And India is entering this race at a very critical moment. The country's robotics and physical AI ecosystem is beginning to attract serious investment. According to the report on Economic Times, Indian robotics and hardware startups raised about $130 million in FY25, followed by another $42 million in just the first 3 months of 2026. At the same time, Chinese robots companies are scaling rapidly. So Indian startups now have a difficult choice. They can wait for the visa situation to improve, or they can try to build alternative supply chains through Taiwan, Hong Kong, Singapore, and other markets. But that comes with a cost. Some components are either difficult to source outside China or are significantly more expensive elsewhere. And for startups that are still operating at low volumes, that can directly hurt their unit economics. So the bigger question is whether this becomes a temporary disruption or a long-term push for Indian robotic companies to reduce their dependence on China. For now, the message from founders is clear. India wants to build the next generation of robots and physical AI. But when some of the world's most important components, suppliers, and research ecosystems are still concentrated in China, even getting into the room can become a competitive advantage.